Last Christmas, Michelle and Chris Thomas received the news no parent wants to hear. Their baby daughter was diagnosed with a spinal condition and given less than a year to live. A glimmer of hope came just months later when Annabelle Rose became the first child in the UK to receive a new clinical drug, which has seen her show impressive signs of improvement. The East London family have now launched a fundraising campaign to support further treatment. I'm very pleased to say they join me along with Annabelle Rose, a rather noisy Annabelle Rose, in the studio this evening. Great to have you all here.
Hi, thanks for having us.
Michelle, tell us a bit about the condition your daughter was diagnosed and how you first started to realise something was up.
It's called SMA type 1, so it's spinal muscular atrophy. Type 1 is the most severest condition, so it goes type 1, type 2, type 3. And I first started to notice Annabelle not being able to kick her legs anymore, her head being quite floppy, not being able to roll over anymore. That was at about 6 months. We tried to get her to the doctors to see what was wrong, but it was like, you know, everything's fine, you have a lazy baby there. And then finally, when we managed to get her to see a specialist, we had an 18-week waiting list. So by that point, she was really floppy. She couldn't hold her head up at all. She got tonsillitis, bronchitis and pneumonia. And it's just not been the same ever since. And unfortunately, the day before Christmas Eve, they announced to us that it's SMA, they think it's type 1, and she won't last past 18 months. And it was just absolutely devastating, and our world changed.
And yet here she is, a year on,
yes.
Looking in fine health and a big smile on her face too. Chris, tell us about the treatment that Annabelle Rose has received so far.
Yes, so obviously we were pretty shell-shocked when we received the news, and we just started doing some Googling, and on Christmas Eve the American Food and Drug Agency signed off a drug called nusinersen. They actually brought it out of clinical trials, and subsequently a few months later, Great Ormond Street put us on the open access programme. Annabelle was the first baby girl to go on that, and it's not a cure, I might hasten to add, but we're pleased to say that when she had her last baseline test, she'd had 25% more mobility than when we first started this course of treatment. But the real key here is, because it's not a cure, you know, physiotherapy and hydrotherapy is essential to work with the drug to strengthen the muscles, and that's really why we're putting the Just Giving page out there.
And that's a page which you launched just a fortnight ago and have already had an incredible response to it. Tell us about that.
We're so overwhelmed by it. It's Help Annabelle Rose Move Again, and we're trying to raise £40,000 to create an Annabelle garden for her, which consists of a hydrotherapy pool and an actual physio area down the end of our garden. There's no hydro pools in our area, and the risk of infection for Annabelle, a common cold for a normal baby, is quite a threat to life for Annabelle because her lungs are so weak and vulnerable. But yeah, we launched it 2 Fridays ago, and we've had such amazing support. You know, I get teary just thinking about it because it's been overwhelming. It's been overwhelming, and messages from people that we don't even know, and you know, and messages of such support for her, and you know, she's been a real little warrior to get to where she has done so far. And the drug has made her louder.
I think that's her way of saying, wrap it up, Mum and Dad, I've had enough. Just briefly before you leave us, how can people find out more about the Just Giving page?
Yeah, it's live on Just Giving at the moment. We share regular updates on Facebook too, and Twitter. But it's Just Giving, Help Annabelle Rose Move Again.